Okay, so the recording has started. Hello everyone. Welcome to the first demo in this demo series for Business Analyst training program. Okay. Now, in this entire training program, what we will be doing is we'll be covering few topics. Okay. Now, topics like what this training program is all about. Okay. What can you expect out of this training program? What are the prerequisites for this training program? Who all are eligible? What kind of career path can you expect once you start looking for jobs as a business analyst? Okay, so we'll try to understand all the nuances around this business analyst training program. That will be your uh, main agenda for this entire demo series. The second thing that we'll be looking at is the job opportunities for business analyst. Okay, what are the different types of job opportunities? What can you expect, or how your career growth can be when you start working as a business analyst? Now, obviously, for any job, for us to perform any job, we want to understand what to expect from the job. Okay, if I tell you that I'll give you some salary, let's say if I tell you that I'll give you 1 lakh Indian rupees per month, or maybe 5,000 US dollar per month. Okay, that the salary alone enough is not enough to motivate people. Okay, we always want to know what kind of role and responsibility are we going to perform, whether that role and responsibility suits my career aspiration or not. So we will also delve into what are the different roles and responsibilities. Now after that, we will also get into discussion of who is a business analyst. Is business analyst same as data analyst, data analytics? Okay, we keep hearing these terms, and there is generally some overlap while there is some differentiation between the three. Okay, so we will understand who is a business analyst, what kind of skill sets a business analyst will exhibit versus what skill sets will be exhibited by a data analyst. Now after that, after all that, sorry everyone, so we also want to understand, sorry, so what we also want to understand, what will be the impact of AI. Okay, so artificial intelligence is the buzzword nowadays. Okay, everyone wants to understand how artificial intelligence can impact the work they are doing. Okay, if it is something that can be easily replaced by an AI in coming months or years, why to unnecessarily waste your effort and money in something that can be done by an AI? So we will also understand what an AI can, whether an AI can impact your job, what kind of impact can it have. Okay, so over the next 3 to 4 days, that is what we will be trying to cover. Okay. So that way you get a very good idea of who a business analyst is, what their job profile looks like, what their career growth looks like, what to expect from a business analyst career path, what's the difference between business analyst, data analyst, and what will be the impact of AI on the business analyst related opportunities. Okay. Now there's one more thing, absolutely new to business analyst training program. Okay, like I was saying earlier, if you do not have access to Google Classroom link, Google Classroom is our means of sharing data with you. So if you do not have access to Google Classroom, please send a WhatsApp message. Okay, and what's the number? I have already included the number over here. I'll post it on the chat as well, so that you can send a WhatsApp message on this number. Our coordinator will reach out to you. They'll share the Google Classroom link with you. You can use the Google Classroom link to access all these running notes that we will be preparing starting today for the next 3 4 days. Okay. So let me paste it on the group chat. Okay, so let's get started. Now for our first topic regarding this entire training program, uh, let's hear it from you guys first. Since you all have joined this demo series, so you all must have done some type of research in trying to understand what a business analyst is. Okay, maybe it is something that coincides with your aspirations. Maybe it is something that may not coincide with your aspirations, but maybe you are willing to explore as a career path. So, what do you guys understand from business analysts? Okay, what is it that you have learned so far in your research on business analyst? Anyone wants to open up? Go ahead, Nandini. You were trying to say something. Sure, not a problem. We will get started. So we will explore what a business analyst typically does. So usually when we start these demo series, people would often come up and say that business analyst is someone who gathers requirement for the team. Okay. Or business analyst is someone who communicates with the client. People often give definition of business analyst is someone who will document the requirements so that we can use this document as a means of communication. Okay. Now, most often I hear these things about business analysts. These are all true. Okay, so I'm not saying these are all wrong. This is not a business analyst is, but these are more around the roles and responsibilities of a business analyst and not who a business analyst is. Okay. So we will get started with our training program. We will try to uncover all these agendas. Okay, we'll not rush onto anything. We may complete few things today. We have 3 to 4 days of time in our demo series, so we'll try to cover all these points, starting from knowing who your trainer is, who is going to teach you. You must have confidence in your trainer first. Then the second thing we'll move on to is prerequisites. Are there any prerequisites before I enroll into business analyst training? Some of the myths around business analyst, what type of topics I'm going to learn as part of this training program. I'm sure our training coordinator would have already shared the course content with you, but we will revisit it one more time. Okay. Are there any tools that I'm going to learn as part of this training program? We'll look at the set of tools. What is our roadmap for learning this entire completing this entire program? Is it going to take 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? What's the timeline that we are looking at? What can I expect once the training program is over? Okay, how do I, or what changes will I see in myself if I am regular in this training program? if I enroll and become regular, if I complete all the assignments on time, if I keep revising things. Next is preparation, and the last two are certification and career growth. Okay, so what kind of certifications can I do after I take this training program? Are there any certifications part of this training program? And the last one is, what is my career growth going to look like as a business analyst? Okay, so we will explore all these topics. Once done, we will then move on to the other aspects, like there's some of the roles and responsibilities of a business analyst. Now, all this while, I'll be switching between this PPT and my running notes. Okay. In between, I'll also take pauses just to ask you if you have any questions or not, and I'll also be taking a look at the chat to see if someone has posted a question over there. So if you posted something into the chat and you don't see me replying immediately, just wait for some time. Okay. So once I cover up a topic, I'll definitely look at the chat as well. Now, coming back to the trainer part, who is your trainer? So my name is Rahul Dubey. Okay. I come with approximately more than 13 years, to be precise, 13 years and 9 months of experience in the IT industry, working across both large scale organizations and small scale organizations as well. When I started my career, we were predominantly working in the waterfall model. Over time, I have seen shift from waterfall to agile for software development. So I'm well versed with the software development life cycle phases, implementation in waterfall as well as in agile as well. So for my experience, I started as a developer, moved on to business analyst, and then right now I'm working as a product manager. So we will explore all this journey plus some of your questions around how do you transition your career as well. Okay. Now let's start with the first question that everyone has in their mind. What kind of degree, what kind of experience do I require before I enroll in this training program? I want to understand if this training program is for me or not. So suppose you are someone who is already part of IT industry. So the way I see it is, for prerequisites, okay, I usually classify into IT versus non-IT. So suppose you are already someone who is part of IT industry, and maybe you are working as a developer, maybe you are working on the QA side, okay? Maybe you are already working in some role and you are related to the IT industry, but you want to transition your role now from a developer to a BA, from a QA quality analyst to a business analyst, or from a project manager to a business analyst, like you are no longer interested in taking care of management activities and you want to do some technical role. Okay. So that is for one category of people. If you're already part of IT industry and if you want to transition from your current role into BA. The second aspect is for all the people who are part of non-IT industry. Like you are not related to the IT industry as such. Maybe you are doing some work in insurance domain. Maybe you are doing some work in banking domain, banking sector, but you are not actually related to the IT part. When I say IT, that's the part of building softwares. Okay. So you are not actually involved anywhere in building up a software, but you find this software industry, the IT industry, quite fascinating, and you want to move into that industry. Now, while you want to move into that industry, you don't want to move as a developer. Maybe you don't want to learn coding. you want to find some appropriate non-coding role which can give you access to the IT industry. Okay, we'll see it in a little while how business analyst is a non-coding role. So for all those people who may be working as part of BPO industry, maybe KPO industry, or maybe any non-IT but non-software building part as well. Okay, and now you want to transition into the IT industry. So you all can do it. When it comes to what kind of degree is required for someone who has completed technical courses, example B Bachelor of Engineering, BTech, for them bachelor's alone is enough. Okay. For someone who comes from a non-technical background, like a BCom or a BA, a master's degree is preferable. Like if you do MTech or MBA, that is that is preferable. Okay, but otherwise there is no such restriction. There is no prior experience needed. There is no requirement of industry knowledge as well. We have designed our training program in such a way that if you are a non-IT person, we will first cover the basics of IT industry so that you learn about this industry, how it operates, what are the different people involved in it, what are the different processes involved in it. You first understand about the IT industry, and then we move on talking about the business analyst related stuff, so that even for people from non-IT industry, it becomes relatively easy to perform this transition. Now the only challenge would be for someone who is from non-IT, they will have to be extra regular. When I say extra regular, that means not only they'll have to be regular in this entire training program, but they'll also have to be attentive and demonstrate extra hard work. Okay, so when you are moving from one role to another, see, compare it to IT person. The IT person already knows how the industry operates, so for them it is only about learning the skills of business analyst. For someone who belongs to non-IT industry, they'll have to learn about the industry, then about the business analyst. So we have few of our students who have successfully done that. So it's not an impossible task. We will help you right throughout our journey. But I just wanted to clarify on that. Now, what are some of the myths or assumptions on the business analyst part? Now, the very first myth, we will try to debunk it. It says a business analyst must have a technical background. A BA must have technical background. Now, why is this a myth? So people often confuse technical and coding as the same thing. Okay? Remember, everyone who is involved in building a software is performing a technical role. Okay, I repeat myself. Everyone who is performing a role in building up a software is actually doing a technical role. So typically, to build a software, we require three people. Okay. Roughly speaking, BA will give you the requirements. BA will actually get the requirements from client. Okay. A developer will code as per the requirements, and a QA will test the code as per the requirements, that whether the code meets the requirement as specified by BA or not. Okay, so ideally these three people, they work very closely with each other unless we get a software. Okay, now you can say a BA doesn't do coding as it is, as a developer is supposed to be doing the coding. So BA is a non-coding but technical role. Okay, all three people, BA, developer, and a quality analyst, they all are technical role. Technical does not mean coding. Okay, so does a BA must have technical background? So I will specify it as non-coding role. Okay, you don't have to learn about coding and in any specific language. You don't have to talk about any particular uh, scripting language as well. It's a completely non-coding role. Okay, but what is definitely expected out of you is that you have good communication skills, you have good interpersonal skills, you are able to facilitate meetings, you are able to make good notes, you are able to perform good documentation, good and comprehensive documentation. Okay, but you are not supposed to be knowing about coding as such. Okay, now, the second point is very much similar to the first one, that it is very difficult to start career as a BA without technical background. Now, there are definitely some aspects, some key skill sets. We will cover it tomorrow about what are the different skills that you must have or you must possess over time for you to get started as a BA. But coding is not one of those skills that is looked into a BA. If you don't know coding, that is absolutely fine. But but why a little bit of technical is needed, so that you can understand how the software functions. See, I don't have to worry about how this PPT is working, but I must know how to create a Microsoft PowerPoint. So at least I should know that much technical information. I don't have to necessarily worry about in which language Microsoft PowerPoint was coded, how it was coded, what is the design of it. Maybe I don't have to worry about it, but at least what I have to know from my experience is that how this PPT looks like. Okay, how can I add slides? What are the different options that are available for me? Okay, and the next point before, so the next point, a fresher cannot become a BA. Now, truly speaking, this actually goes against our prerequisites, isn't it? We already said someone who is part of non-IT and they want to transition to IT, obviously they'll be counted as freshers. I'll be a fresher. Suppose I have 6 years of experience in non-IT. I want to join IT now. So what? So my experience in IT is zero, but my overall experience is 6 years. So if someone asks me, "Are you a fresher in IT?" Yes, I am a fresher in IT. Does that mean I cannot start my journey as a BA? That is not true at all. Okay, you can obviously kickstart your journey as a BA, but to kickstart your journey, you must be able to demonstrate or tell someone that you have some knowledge. Okay, you have knowledge in some form about business analyst. You understand what requirement is. You understand what business goals are. You understand what are the different requirement documents available. You understand what user story is. You need to convince the interviewer that you have knowledge about BA in some form. Only then the other person is going to give you an opportunity. If you say that I have 6 years of experience, I have no idea about IT, give me a BA role in IT, no one is going to entertain that. So we all have to demonstrate some form of knowledge before we start applying for interview, and that knowledge will help us clear these interviews. Okay, so even a fresher can become a business analyst. Okay. Now, we don't need a business analyst because we have SMEs. SMEs are people who have expertise in a given subject, in a given area. People often say that we have SMEs, why do we need a business analyst? Okay. An SME is always strengthening their knowledge in a given subject. A business analyst is maybe interacting with an SME, but a business analyst does a lot more than what an SME is doing. Okay, so those two roles do not overlap with each other. A business analyst may work with an SME to understand how an industry functions before writing down the requirements for it. Now, before we move ahead with our topic, I know a lot of you will have questions because you will have your own unique background, you will have your own unique scenarios. So, you may want to talk a lot more about prerequisites or myths or assumptions. So, I'll take a pause over here and take up your questions to see if you have any questions pertaining to your own background, your own scenarios. If you are if you're feeling a little shy, or maybe you don't want to speak out in front of everyone, you can always send your messages as text as well.
Hi Rahul, Bhargav here.
Hey Bhargav.
Yeah, so we were talking about the technical background, right? So here, so this technical background is related to any particular related to other course, or what we are talking about this technical background to be precise.
Yes, so technical background is knowledge about the IT industry. So that is one thing that we will share with you in this entire training program,
Hmm.
so that if anyone tells you go and talk to a developer or
Hmm.
go and talk to a programmer, you don't, like, you are not confused that who a programmer is, who a developer is.
Okay.
Or if someone says that this is responsibility of a PM, project manager, so
Hmm.
you understand all the different parts of the IT industry, how
Hmm.
they communicate with each other, what kind of role or responsibility is distributed between these different people,
Okay.
plus you are comfortable using your laptop.
Okay. So, for example, here technical thing is, so if we are this completely course is as a business analyst, right? So business analysis course. If I want to become Salesforce business analyst, okay. So what all will be the add-ons it will come in, or if I want to become any other related business analyst like ServiceNow business analyst or Salesforce business analyst. So what are the topics or what are the add-ons I will get it, or what we are teaching about this complete course, right? So how it will related to that particular domain or something like that.
So as a business analyst, there are
Hmm.
few things that will remain common or consistent. Okay.
Okay.
So everyone focuses on the core part of business analyst, like how do you communicate with your clients? How do you run your elicitation meetings with your clients? How do you document your requirements? How do you communicate it with your team? How do you manage your product backlog? There are some common aspects that, irrespective of any specific tool or a skill set, that are common. There are other moving parts for a business analyst. For example, suppose today I'm working for a life insurance client.
Hmm.
If I don't know about life insurance, I will have to learn about it. That is one good aspect of being a business analyst, that you keep learning about new things. Suppose I have never worked on Salesforce tool, so I'll have to learn about how that Salesforce tool works
Okay.
before I start calling myself as Salesforce business analyst. Now, in this course, we'll not be talking about any tool as such,
Yeah, yeah, we'll not
because
be
for a
talking about
business
any tool as
analyst,
such. So how can we relate? Is that my question is.
so
So
even
all
for
the
any business
process and
analyst,
everything is same, right? So as you said, so requirement gatherings, meetings. So if you're using Jira, if you want to write some user stories, the process everything will be same. But in particular to Salesforce business analyst, we use Salesforce technology here, and will as a business analyst we'll do our roles. That's it, or anything else we have to do here?
But that is it.
Mm.
That is pretty much what you summed up. That the
So,
additional different part would be the two Salesforce technology
mm,
and maybe a different domain background. So
yeah, whatever it is.
Salesforce
So
is the
we'll leverage that skills here, and we'll as a BA we'll do that. That's it. So
yes,
we'll
yes,
propose Salesforce related requirements. We'll create Salesforce related things, Salesforce related. I'm just taking Salesforce as an example. Okay, so Salesforce related topics. So basically, we'll help them, or we'll facilitate them, right?
exactly, exactly. You are absolutely right.
So as a BA, we'll not do anything. We'll just tell what has to be done. Is it correct, or we will also do anything from as a BA?
No, no, Bhargav. So, will not say that will not do anything. See, as a BA, even I don't have idea about what needs to be done.
Hmm.
Okay. So,
Okay.
how this entire journey started is if a BA is not needed, client can directly tell the developer what needs to happen, and developer can do it. Why do you need a BA in between?
Yeah.
So BA offers lot more than just getting information from client and then passing it over to to the developers on what needs to be done. We talk to client or we give recommendations to client as well based on their requirements, what they want, how they want. We transform their information into requirements. Sometimes client can say that I want only, let's say I want a UI screen
Hmm.
using which people can submit their details to me. Now, what kind of details people should submit? How should submit? A developer will go and ask about what is the length of email ID, what type of email ID. So developer will be more worried from a code point of view. A BA offers that no non-coding perspective that let's first understand what you are trying to achieve through this user interface. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? Suppose if someone says that I want to gather personal data.
Hmm.
Based on that, as a BA, you can make some recommendations that, okay, let's collect first name, last name, and email ID and phone number as well so that
Okay.
you will have some personal data. If
Hmm.
someone says that no, let's have address as well, let's have Aadhaar number as well. So as a BA, you can make recommendations that for your business, maybe you don't need Aadhaar number. So all those eliminations and recommendations are done by BA in the initial stages. Only then it is converted into a requirement for a developer to code.
Hmm. Okay. So while coding, if developer faces any issue, so he'll let us know and we'll communicate with the client, right? Or will developer directly communicate? So this is not possible, or like something like that.
Yeah, if you have gotten a requirement, even before developer, you will have your technical architect team. Okay. So
Okay.
we will check any technical implementation feasibility with them. So we'll have tech leads, more experienced people, technical architects.
Hmm.
Any requirement that we are working with the client, we'll check the feasibility, technical feasibility of that requirement with them first. Only if something is feasible, then we move ahead with the coding part and others. If a developer is not able to code, that means maybe the developer does not have the appropriate knowledge or skill set to implement it. So what we do is maybe work with other developers, talk to your seniors, reach out to your lead, so they will guide you on how to write this code.
So that we have to do, or
No, that they will only do. If they come
okay.
to you saying that
Hmm.
I'm not able to write code, you just redirect them to your leads, sorry, to their leads. That instead of talking to me, talk to your leads who can help you write code. If you have questions, clarifications, doubts related to what I have written in the requirement document, then
Hmm.
ask me.
Okay,
I'll
so
clarify it.
how here, so how we will come to know that developer is actually doing what we have given. So how we will like follow up, or how we will monitor that. So it should not be a case, right? So we'll give the requirements and developer will work on it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and he'll not meet the requirements. So at the end, then we'll not have time and client will be behind us. So how we will monitor that developer is actually doing as per our requirements?
That you don't have to worry. See, we have specific roles for it. For example, it is
Hmm.
duty of a project manager, or in agile world, it is duty of a scrum master to ensure that a developer and a quality analyst is working on the requirement as expected. That is their primary responsibility. Now, if you want to monitor, in Agile, we have daily stand ups occurring every day. So, as a business analyst, I recommend all business analysts, even though you may not have anything to add, join your daily stand up meetings. Those meetings will help you get insights into what developer is working, if they are making any progress or not, so that you can catch them in the meeting itself. If you see not significant progress being made, then you can hold them there itself. But if a developer, let's say everyday developer is saying, I'm doing something, I will be done with this work in 1 week. After 1 week, the developer says that no, I did not even start itself. So the onus of this, as a BA, usually I'll reach out to Scrum Master that the onus of getting the work done from a developer lies on you.
Okay.
So a developer was sitting right under your nose, did not do any work, and why didn't you track it?
Okay, got it. So here we will discuss what is the tree will follow. So client will give the requirements to BA, and as you added now Scrum Master, project, I mean product owner or product manager. So how will the tree goes? So every company will have this, or so how will be the tree? So we can discuss that, then we'll get better clarity. Or we are going to
Sure.
discuss that in future classes, or how it is?
Yes. So during our introduction to IT industry, we
Hmm.
will talk about all the basics of IT industry, like what are the different roles or what are the different designations there,
Hmm.
how these designations or how these roles interact with each other,
Hmm.
what lies in the boundaries of business analyst versus what does not lie in the boundaries of business analyst. Now, when I say what does not lie, does not mean you cannot do. You
Yeah, yeah.
can, but it will be something additional that you may have to work upon your part.
See, not every company will have this hierarchy, right? Depends on the company, they'll have their own hierarchical system. So if you want, there is no scrum master, then you have to step in and you have to get things done. So that's why I wanted to understand how the tree goes.
So
So
even for a smaller organizations also, if you are, see, nowadays everyone is working in agile, okay?
yeah.
Even if you are a smaller organization, you have to have a scrum master. You
Hmm.
cannot say that only my business analyst will do the role of a BA plus the scrum master.
Hmm.
Ideally, if you are doing the role of a BA plus some scrum master, you should ask for two salaries. That maybe give me 10 lakh for doing the job of a BA, and then give me another 10 lakh for doing the job of a scrum master.
Okay.
But if you are doing role of both BA and Scrum Master, you will either miss as a BA or you
Hmm.
will either miss as a Scrum Master. Suppose if I have to talk to you guys on a daily basis, how much work you have done, then
Hmm.
when do you think I will get time to talk to client to gather requirements? Now, for brief moment, it is okay. Suppose
Hmm.
Scrum Master has resigned. Scrum
Hmm.
Master is kind of playing the role of a manager, and while you hire another scrum master or while another person joins, there is 1 to 2 week or 3 weeks of gap. So for those 2 to 3 weeks, well, I can try to be a scrum master, but if you tell me for entire year and for coming years I will be BA and scrum master both, maybe I should resign from that company and look for a different job.
Okay.
Even the smallest of the organizations that I worked with in my previous organization, we had 64 people from India and
mm,
approximately 150 people from US.
mm,
So even with such small count, they had a scrum master. Though there was one scrum master for four teams,
mm.
but still there was a scrum master because everyone understands that your BA will kind of be completely engaged with the client, so you
Okay.
don't want to disturb your BA in day-to-day management activities. Who is doing what? How much work you have progressed with? Are you having any issues, difficulties, technical issues? Who can help resolve those technical issues? If someone has resigned, how to keep them motivated? Maybe if as a BA I start doing all that, then when will I work on my actual part of meeting with client, gathering requirements, documenting requirements, managing the product backlog, ensuring that the product vision is still matching with our requirements?
Okay. So in that, for example, in that particular company, you just took an example, right? So there one Scrum Master for 4 teams. So how many BAs? So what about the jobs we'll get for how many openings in a company? So for one BA, so there will be 4 5 developers, right? So typically that way it
Yes,
works.
one BA, there will be 2 to 4 developers for every BA related work. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Most
Okay,
of the
Rahul.
organizations in an ideal scenario, they want to have at max 2 developers assigned to one BA.
Mm,
But if you go to very small organizations, you can even find 4 developers for one BA.
mm, okay. So comparatively, so job opportunities for BA when compared to developer, it is 1:4 or 1:3.
Yes, you can say that, yes.
Okay.
But BA is a completely new domain. Okay. So
Mm,
when it comes to India, guys, specifically talking about India, we were focusing till now heavily on the technical part. Technical as in the coding and the testing part. So we used to get lot of work from the Western countries with respect to coding and testing part. So BA is a completely new territory. So new as in though we have been doing work for last 5 to 6 years, but it was always believed that a BA should be closer to the client. And since most of the IT industries serve client of Western countries, so BA roles were sitting there. So that is why you see lot of opportunities in BA because a lot of these BA related roles are coming now to India as well. Number one, we are exploring clients within India. Number two, in order to cut down on some costs, we are adding more BAs into India. So because till now we never had BA here in India, so that is why it's becoming a lucrative field.
so how about USA and Canada, other countries?
Well, all the countries have their own set of jobs. So it's not as if all the jobs are being transitioned over to India. Okay. Understand that India is supplementing and not eliminating. So maybe if there are 4 BAs required, if you want to run your business 24/7, maybe you will have 2 BAs in Canada who can work during Canadian time, and then maybe you will have 2 BAs over here in India who can work during India's morning time, so that you have this 24 hour cycle in which the work continues to happen. If you feel you are not in a very critical business, if people work only in Canada, that is fine, then you will not have any counterparts in India.
Yeah, okay, Rahul, got it. Thank you.
Okay guys, so let's look at our course content as well. I'm sure you guys would have already seen it. but just for the benefit of the audience, we'll revisit it again. So our entire training program has been divided into three sections. One is the business analyst introduction part. Second is the actual core concept, that is the software development life cycle, waterfall methodology, and then the scrum part. And then the last one is case study for you to practice on whatever concepts we have learned. So first part, the business analyst introduction, like I was saying, this is where we will get you started with the IT industry basics. So we will first build our foundations for what IT industry is, different type of IT companies, the team structure, how it looks like, what are the different people you are going to be working with, what will be their roles and responsibilities. Once we have understood that, then we will get into what a business analyst does, what will be their roles and responsibility as a business analyst. Okay. Now once you have understand all this, you have built some foundations. Okay, even for us to construct a house, what we do is we start with the foundations. We don't directly build the roof, or we don't directly start setting up pillars or columns first. Okay, we always start with the foundations. So once we understand about the IT industry, once we understand who a BA is, what kind of work they do, then it is the time to start talking about technical topics like how do we identify stakeholders, how do we manage stakeholders, how to plot a RACI matrix, what are the different types of requirements, basically what is a requirement, and then what are the different categories of requirements, what are the elicitation techniques. Okay, what is expectation from a BA in those elicitation technique, what are the different categories of requirement documents like BRD, FRD, a use case, what is meant by a requirement traceability matrix. So we will understand all those technical topics. Then we will do a mapping of these technical topics to, now in today's world we follow agile, particularly Scrum framework. So we will understand basics of agile and Scrum in our first few classes and the difference between the two. And then we will start talking about how do we manage product backlog, what are epics, how do we create epics, how do we create user stories, what happens once a epic and a user story is created, how do we communicate back and forth with the team. Okay, and then there are some additional topics like velocity and estimations, which are not necessarily done by a BA, but it is good for you to understand or have knowledge onto these topics, so that if anyone asks you any question during interview on how your team does the estimation, you can at least say how the team does it. You may say that I don't have the coding knowledge or enough skill set to give estimations, but I have been part of these estimation meetings, and this is the process that the team uses for estimation. Okay. Now, all this while, when we talk about all these topics at appropriate levels, and particularly starting from the technical topics, we will be having assignments as well. Okay. Now it is expected that you will be regular during your classes. It is expected that you will be completing these assignments on time, so that they help you cement your foundations, or they help you basically strengthen your foundations. Now, along with these assignments, what will also happen is we will be picking up a case study. Okay, we'll pick up a case study, and for that case study, what we will do is we will, under using that case study as an example, we will be understanding all these different technical topics, that how do I gather requirement. For example, suppose I have to uh, I have to build a e-commerce website. I'm just giving a rough example, not saying that this will be used in actual class as well, but assume that I have to build an e-commerce application. Then for that e-commerce application, how am I going to start with stakeholders, what will be the different elicitation techniques, how am I going to document requirements, how am I going to create user stories or epics for those particular use case that we have picked up. And then for you guys to practice, we have designed few case studies. Okay, that you can use to again revise all the topics that we have studied so far. Now, this is purely related to the training program topics. Okay, this is not. I'm not saying that this is the only thing we will be covering in the training program. Now, at the end of the training program, or in the subsequent slides, we will see what additional things we are going to cover other than these topics alone. For example, these are the different CAT tools that as a BA you must have knowledge on. Okay, for example, Jira. Jira is our ALM tool. ALM basically stands for, sorry, Agile Lifecycle Management. Okay, so Jira is an ALM tool. ALM stands for Agile Lifecycle Management Tool. Okay, so we will see how Jira is implementing different concepts of Agile. Like how can you create a product backlog? How can you create user stories? How do you track the progress of user stories using Jira? Now, once done, we'll also through during our course itself, we'll also be talking about Draw.io. It is a tool that will help you draw flowcharts. Okay, and Microsoft Office is what we will also be using during the course, particularly Microsoft Word, because that is where you will be documenting your requirements. Sorry, I jumped quite a few slides. Okay. Now I'll cover one more slide, this preparation part. Once our entire training is over, during the training we'll be learning about these tools as well. Okay, towards the end of the training program, we will be taking special classes on resume preparation. Like how do you prepare your resume, what things you must write in your resume, plus what are some of the things that you can maybe skip over. Now, we will not make you write anything in resume which we have not covered in the training program. Or you will see that all the topics we have covered in the training program, we will be writing those things in our resumes as well. Okay, so that you feel more confident about your resume. Now, once you prepare your resume, okay, I'll not be helping you write down your resume. I'll be guiding you. I'll be mentoring you. But once you prepare your resume, we can again connect to review your resume personally. Okay, I'll not say that if there are 10, 20 students in a batch, I'll not review their resume. We can connect personally and again review your resume on a personal basis and see how or further changes or amendments that may be needed in your resume. Okay, that's one thing. So once the resume class is over, we can work parallelly to streamline or finalize your resume. While we are working parallelly on streamlining or finalizing your resume, we will, during our regular classes, we will be talking about interviews. What kind of questions will be asked in interview? How are you supposed to respond to those questions? We will have a list of questions which will be divided into basics of BA, Scrum related topics for BA, scenario based questions for BA, and some general interpersonal questions or HR related questions for BA. So we'll look at some of the questions from each category and we will come up with an answer for those questions, that how should you respond to those questions as such. Okay, now again this will be a regular activity during our class, and these two things, resume preparation and interview preparation, will happen at the end of our class once we have studied everything about our technical, once we have studied everything technical related to BA. Now we are not restricting our students just to focus only on class. Even post class, if you have to attend an interview and if you want to keep revising, we can again connect, help you revise. But the only caveat will be, because there are some batches currently going on plus previous batches, so it will be good if you can give us any advance notice that, I have an interview maybe two after 2 days. can you help me conduct one round of mock interview again? There is no restriction as such. You can have multiple rounds of mock interviews. Okay, just notify me in advance that you are willing to have mock round, or you are prepared to have mock interviews. It is not necessary that you should have an interview, then only I'll take mock interview of you. If even if you feel that I have completed all the topics, assignments, case studies, my resume is ready, I feel confident, so I have gone through the interview questions as well, Rahul, take my mock interview, I will take it. Okay, it is not necessary that you must have an interview, then only an actual interview in place, then only I'll take mock interviews. No. So that's on the preparation part. So the entire training program, you can see how we start with very basics of IT industry, to covering the core technical topics, to getting you prepared for the interviews, like prepare helping you prepare your resume, and with the interviews as well. Now I'll stop over here. Okay, uh, I don't want to go overboard now. I'll wait for any questions.
Hi
Okay, well, I
Rahul,
don't.
this is Radha.
Hi,
Uh,
Radha.
a- are there any certifications with respect to BA?
Yes, so we will cover that topic tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be covering our remaining topics. For example, how are we looking at the timelines for this training? What is expected out of this training? And then we have the certification and the career growth part as well. We will cover this topic in our tomorrow's demo class.
Okay, yep, thanks.
Yeah, Rahul, I wanted to talk to you personally. So uh, I have a couple of doubts and everything. So when can we connect? After the class, we have time for 5 minutes.
So we have actually another batch going on.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
reach out to our coordinator. He will get us connected.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Hi Rahul, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Nandini, I can.
Yes, Rahul. I just wanted to give a brief intro about my background. I previously worked as a Java developer and currently working as a Pega developer. I wanted to go into the management end, from now on. So I thought I can start it with BA and then go into the product owner and the product manager in that area. Like, how is the hierarchy like when we get into business analytics?
So I think you pretty much explained about the hierarchy. So you start as a business analyst, and that
Mm-hmm.
will be a topic that we will cover tomorrow as well. But just to give you an overview, your
Okay.
entry level may start with a BA. By the time you
Mm-hmm.
get into your mid-level role, you could most probably be working as a senior BA or a lead BA. Lead
Okay.
a lead business analyst could be roughly called as a product owner as well. A more senior level opportunity will be when you get into product management role, product manager role.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how about the Scrum Master? How is it differentiated from the roles of it?
Yes. So a Scrum Master is basically a non-technical role as well. So if I go back
Mm-hmm.
here, so I was saying that we have three people, okay, a BA, developer, and a QA. Now these three
Yeah.
people, they form the core of your technical team. Okay. Why technical?
Mm.
Because they are particularly giving you some information or performing some activity to help you create a software. Now, when it comes
Okay.
to people like project manager or scrum master, now that's actually a non-technical role because they
Hmm.
are more worried about asking people or ensuring that people are doing what they are supposed to do. So when you
Okay.
are
There.
into completely non-technical role, the risk of layoff becomes heavy as you gain more experience. You are on a
Hmm.
safer side if you are part of a technical team. If you are part of a non-technical team, okay, if there are troubling times, for example, the COVID time when it happened, we see lot of
Hmm.
layoffs related to the non-technical role. Even we as BA were told that for time being, you manage your team, you do the technical work plus manage your team as well. When
Hmm.
time
Okay.
is good, everyone will have work. When time is not so good, there will be some challenges. And particularly, I'm not saying that other developer QA will not have challenges, but I have particularly seen more problems in the management role because see, there will be 5 developers, 6 developers, 10 developers. There will be even 5, 6, 10 BAs also. But for
Hmm.
managing those 10 BAs, 10 developers, maybe there will be only one manager. So during when your experience increases, if someone lays you off, the problem happens because there are not many people at up in the hierarchy. So if you stay technical, I'm not saying you have to be a BA only. If you are interested in coding, you can be a developer. So, but if you stay technical, the chances of securing a job is easy.
Got it.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Thank you, Rahul. And probably like we'll be exploring more during our classes. Yeah.
Sure, Nandini, sure. So, well, in that case, thank you everyone for your time. We'll be meeting tomorrow, same time, 7 a.m. IST for our second demo class. Okay, so please do join us tomorrow as well. We'll cover the remaining topics and then we will get started with our other agenda items as well. Some of the key roles, responsibilities, and differentiation with other roles. Okay. Thank you, everyone.